Hi there, and welcome to another episode here on Bustthenet. Yes, this is Game Changer, and I've got myself a new save. It comes from Andrew, and he's one of my patrons. Hi there, and welcome to Bustthenet. Yes, we have a new episode of Game Changer. It comes from Andrew, and he is in Scotland. Yes, it looks like he's managing Ayr United. It's a pretty interesting challenge. And we can see how he's doing in the table. He's eighth on the table, hasn't won a game yet. Pretty bad run actually, and he's trying to do his best to move up the table. So he sent me the save to take a look, and well, let's start with the very beginning. And I always like to start with the scouting budget and the wage budget. Naturally, when you see something like this, you know that you are limited with your choices are limited. So when you go into the game, it's either you get players who are young and upcoming who can play for you, or you go out into the market and you scout for them. And I guess one of the strategies that he's going to be using is to go out into the marketplace to scout as many talents as possible. One of the things I recommend is always you don't really, if you are an LLM site, then one of the things that you can do is basically use the tools at your disposal. You're not going to be able to scout players, so in the end, you'll just be trialing them. The goal here is to get as large a database as possible by adding them to your shortlist. So once, after a while, you'll have a nice little shortlist going. This is my own scouting like view. I've got determination, work rate, natural fitness, off the ball positioning, and accuracy. It applies to every single one of my saves, and you don't need 100% knowledge level. So here we have something like you never need 100%. Trust me, you don't have to go that far. 40%, 80% is usually enough. So if we see here, we find a player here. It's got 73% Terry Mason. You've got enough. You know enough whether or not this person is going to be worth signing. But before you can even do that, how do you stack up with the rest of the league? Naturally, we want to go in and we want to check how the team does in terms of comparison to the rest of the league. Now, the first thing I noticed when I started looking at this club is it's probably the shortest club in the whole of Scotland. So 1.77, which does mean that even I think your defenders, well, your defenders are doing okay, 1.81, 1.86, they're not that bad. But most of the rest of the team is short. So between midfielders and strikers, they're short little guys running around playing football. And what we need to do is we need to understand how our defenders stack up against the rest of the league. Now, I've already done the numbers. The number to beat is 12. Yes, 12 will be the number to beat for this club. And when we want to play this safe, we want to make sure that we can beat that number. And this means that as far as defenders are concerned, they need to be better than 12. But before we can even think like that, we have to see what the rest of the league is in terms of the off the ball. Their off the ball is 12 as well, so that's not too bad. So we got strikers, off the ball, movement, acceleration. These are things that you want to look at to see whether your boys are good positionally when they are defending, because you want to compare it to the off the ball of the strikers, because you're basically putting positioning and off the ball in a little match up here. So and we find that it's 12. So okay, it's not that bad. Defenders are doing okay. Then we look at our strikers and we see things like I'm huge for mentals, right? I don't even bother with physicals until I know where my mentals sit. So off the ball for the rest of the league, strikers at 13. So now remember that this is the best average of the squad. So the squad could be higher. The best starting 11 could be higher than that, because of course you're going to have rotational players, backup players in your first team. So that number is going to drop. So yeah. So this is something that we have to be very careful of. We need to be aware of this when we choose our players. When I'm looking at training, it becomes a question of how we set our attributes up. Now, I'm looking at your attributes. I'm thinking to myself, would it have been worth it for you to have initially chosen to maximize or come close to getting like 15 or 16 for one of the categories in goalkeeping, and then maybe attacking and defensive, and that would have been an option. Then you could have gone either way, right? You could have coached this area, you could have coached these two areas. Right now, your goalkeeping is suffering because there's no way you're gonna be able to get this up without the board giving you approvals, and this is going to affect the development of your goalkeepers. It's a risk I think you're taking, but never mind. Something to consider. Now, let's take a look at the squads. And you have one thing I'm always gonna do is do it the same way. I don't change the way I play. I have a set way of playing. I've played this way since Championship Manager days, and what I do is I go through my squad and I go through them the same way, and it works all the time. So I go defending attributes. What do we have? 13 positioning, anticipation. Okay, central defenders. Let's put them in a group. How do they rate? Well, I have brought in this player on trial, Harry Lennon. He looks okay. He doesn't look that bad. I mean, I'm surprised because he has joined the club on trial. We haven't played our game yet. We have also played one game, and we've beaten Arbroath in the IRN BRU Cup. So one of the things I did was I brought this player in on trial because you have this player on your list on scouting. So I thought we give him a shot, get a few players on trial. So let's compare everybody's attributes. Now, 12, 11, 12, 11. Now, this guy could range between 8 to 11, then 10, 10, 13. So your central defenders are pretty average, right? You got one, Michael Rose, who's got very low determination. Then if you're looking at jumping reach, if we can get Harry Lennon in, it would be good because he's got the best jumping reach as well, heading, marking, and tackling. So you wanna look at every chance. I mean, this guy was just sitting in your short list actually, so we just brought him in, and this is a player that I probably would sign if I was playing this game. And we got Michael Rose, David Ferguson. So your defenders are generally slow. Anticipation in the back not very good. You've got like a couple of wing backs. Positioning is poor, but generally they are okay in certain areas like anticipation and concentration. They seem fine. Then we look at your support duties. Now, support duties, what do we have here? In support, we are going to take a look at the defensive midfielders as well. And now when I'm looking at support duties, positioning-wise, your support duties, you got a few players that seem okay, except concentration. Anticipation is not fantastic, and decision-making not that good. So if Scott Martin were to play, this guy's never going forward. So he's always going to be like a defensive midfielder. And we have a few other players here, and most of them share the same thing. So off the ball, how many of your central midfielders can actually participate in attacks? This is what I look at. I look at off the ball to decide whether or not these players are going to give me value going forward. If they have low off the ball, I know then we might have an issue with creating chances. Teamwork, work rate. I also look at work rate as well to see how we can use them. Callum Tapping looks pretty solid, right, from your team. And number to beat here is 12 and 13. So he has his important attributes all either 12 or 13, which makes him a really, really good option. Then when we look at the guys in front, I'm looking to see whether you have options like, can you play with two strikers? Okay, this is the thing about me and lower league management. When I'm managing the lower leagues, I really, really love to play with two strikers. I mean, I have played one striker, but if I play one striker, inevitably I have three attacking the flanks. So I either attack with three players or I attack with two players. But I never ever have a system which is gonna solely rely on one guy holding the ball up for everybody to catch up with him, because it just doesn't work in LLM. Because by the time he sometimes they can't even hold the ball up, so they get just shoved off the ball. So what do we have here? Let's see. We got support duties. Looking at acceleration, not bad. Your support duties have good acceleration, decent off the ball. You've only got a couple of chaps. Where did this guy come from? Davis, Kellogg, Dunn, on loan from Ross County. You might as well send him back. So he's not going to fit into most of your systems. I mean, why do I say send him back? Using him is going to be like a liability, because you can only play him for 45 minutes. His natural fitness is very low. I suspect his stamina and his strength is low, so I don't expect him to last 90 minutes. Then when we're looking at his other attributes, then he only has that. He's very one-dimensional. He either attacks or he doesn't do anything else. And we have to determine how many of these players are like that in your team. So if I'm looking at him, I'm going, okay, maybe, does he add value? Not too sure yet. So we're looking at other players. So what do we have? Okay, basically, do we have 3 players who can go down the flanks? So first thing I look for is acceleration. Okay, fine. We need at least 14 to break behind defensive lines. We got Cameron Allen, who's a striker. Can he play as an inside forward? Passing decisions? No. We're just going to chase. And he's 16 years old. For a youngster, well, we'll have to wait a couple of years for him to be any good. Then we have John Bate or Bard, 13 acceleration, aggression. Okay, he makes for a half decent striker, but not part of a trio. Then we got Alan Forrest. Okay, not bad. Half decent. Hopeless at holding the ball up. Okay, because you look at his strength. His strength is 2. My son is stronger than him, and he's 2 years old. Okay, so David Goodwillie. Wow, what a name. I know a friend. I got a friend who's called Good Enough. So this is David Goodwillie. Okay, I'm not going there. Okay, all right, Mr. Goodwill. I'm not going to mention his name again. Okay, it's enough. All right, stop laughing. Okay, so we're not going to look at him. He's injured. But how long is he injured for? So I don't think about him anymore. 3 to 4 months. Man, only torn knee ligaments. I was expecting something else to be injured. Okay, so we've got decent players in attack, right? So, but you don't have those kind of players who can take over the flanks, right? So you don't have, you can't play a 4-3-3. That's out of the question. You've got no AML, AMR that can attack space. Then we've got Lionel Ainsworth. Maybe he can, right? Balance is 12, but his acceleration is 14. Stamina, strength, passing, decisions 9. Okay, very iffy. Okay, he might be able to, but there's a big if when I look at him, right? Because you see, the moment we play him, we know that we have to defend on the left flank, and that flank itself, what are we gonna do? We the moment we play him, we have to have a fullback who can take care of that side. We got to have a midfielder who can take care of that area too. So using him means I need to park 2 people just to do something for him. So the question we now have is, do you have those kind of players? Now let's revisit your defenders again, because now we have to ask this question. This is on the left flank. So what kind of defenders do you have on the left flank? We got 3 defenders we want to look at. We got Callum Crane. Strength 6. Can he last the whole game? Maybe he can. 11 acceleration, not too bad. Positioning, okay, good. All right, not bad. Okay, but this is it. If we use whatever that guy was, his name is, the one we just saw earlier, the balding guy, okay, he can't really attack. So we're going to have to keep him in check. Paddy Boyle, okay, not really very phenomenal at defending. And then we've got the last but not least, Chris Higgins. Okay, positioning, okay, not too bad. But again, all of these players, he has nothing going forward in an attacking sense. So he's always going to be like a defensive. He's just a centre back. We can't even think of him as a fullback. So with the 2 fullbacks here, they can't protect that side of the flank. So now we're down to looking at defensive midfielders and midfielders. How many midfielders do you have who can do the tackling? We got Callum tapping, but he's in the centre of midfield. What about on the flanks? Do we have anybody on the flanks that can look after the flanks? No, we got Alan Frost. He can't do that. So then we got Davis, Keller, Dunn. Can't do that. So we end up in a situation where, okay, we got Robbie Crawford. Maybe he can. No. Okay, Robbie Crawford can play as a regular winger. So he can play as an ML. Now, wait, hang on a minute. Now we got ML. We got this guy. And we got one more guy in front. So your tactic looks a bit strange at the moment. So we got to put 2 players there to hold out that one guy. So what have I done? I noticed that you had this asymmetric 4-1-2-2. In fact, you had a few asymmetric systems. The problem with asymmetric systems is this. Okay, When you are a lower league side, asymmetric systems require your players to be good at controlling space on their own as well. And here, if you want to create such an asymmetric system, then what's going to happen on this? Let's just look at this tactic. I kind of deleted most of the other tactics, just focus on this one tactic because I created two other tactics instead. When I'm looking at this tactic and just this tactic, I'm not a big fan of asymmetric systems when I'm playing lower league management. They can work, but they require a lot of thought. Okay. Here we got a winger on attack, which means this guy must be able to defend, and this guy must be able to defend because the DM is on this side of the pitch. So these two guys are always going to get pulled out of positions. So we need a strong central midfielder here and a strong fullback here. And if I'm looking at fullbacks, God, I hate the fact that this cannot lock itself into space, into its place. Because whenever I change screen, I've got to come back and I got to do this damn shit again. Sorry, never mind. Okay, Brad McKay. Not too bad positioning job. So Brad McKay can play on the right flank, and Michael Rose is a central defender. And then we got Andy Kagan. Okay, all right, not too bad. So we'll have to play those kind of players on the right flank. So we've got maybe one of the fullbacks, but it's a relatively weak system. Because we are depending, when this guy bombs forward, we're going to leave space here and space here. We're always going to be defending these areas. Now, if I'm looking at your matches in the last couple of matches, you've really struggled. Dunfermline, remember, you can't even play a high line because your player's acceleration isn't very fast. So when I'm looking to the highlights of your matches, there's certain things that are very clear. First up, you've got a problem in the box when it comes to dealing with headers. Almost every single header that comes into your box is unchallenged by your players. They have a very hard time winning headers in the box. It's really important that your side is able to, it's almost critical that you have one central defender who's got good jumping reach. We've already found one player called Harry Lennon. Here, as you can see, any cross that goes into the box, when you had a corner, they were able to clear it. And then when they do a counter attack, it's your players take a really long time, and even here they're not back in shape yet. So there is some concern for me as to your defensive shape of your tactics, and this is one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of asymmetric systems. Now, if you're looking at how your players are positioned at the moment they get the ball, we're looking at the transitions here. All right, so we've got Fraser with the ball. He looks forward straight away for the pass, plays it back to Bate. Now Bate has to hold up the ball. Can he do that on his own? Because he's going to take a long time to do something with the ball. Plays it back to Fraser, goes off to Martin. He goes forward, and immediately it's not a good choice. Why did this happen? Because there was a lack of support. There's a lack of movement in your players, and because you're using so many offset positions, every single player needs to find another player with a good pass. The ball is played over the top, and you can't afford those kind of mistakes in your team. You can't afford to have a failed midfield transition. That's what just happened, and the ball has gone over the top. The problem here isn't your players at the moment. It's the fact that you're not playing to you're not doing anything to strengthen your side's weaknesses. Because your weaknesses are your players' inability to position. They don't have a lot of speed and they don't have a lot of height. So you definitely need to be better at keeping the ball and redistributing the ball. Once again, your fullback goes towards far to the left, and you can see because of the duties that you've chosen for your team and because of the lopsidedness of an asymmetric system, he doesn't really have any options to pass the ball. Was that a mistake or was there a tactical design flaw? That's a tactical design flaw. He went wide, and the play. There might even be a bug there, all right, but still should not have happened. Here the ball gets cleared up. As you can see, if you notice one thing, asymmetric systems, if you get the duties wrong, this is what's going to happen. There's a huge amount of space besides story, and because of that, you can't control space. So whenever you want to make an asymmetric system, asymmetric systems are really difficult. They're not easy. They can be made. They're not that hard to make. But you're going to have to give a lot of thought to your duties in your asymmetric system, the players that are playing there, especially if there's one player who's supposed to cover like a ridiculous amount of space. Then we got to think about a role that will help him cover those kind of spaces. As you can see here, there's so many gaps in your asymmetric system, so we're going to have to use something else. So we're gonna now when we are looking at this asymmetric system, you got an AF on attack always bombing for you. If inside forward on support cutting inside here to try and support play, you got wing on attack going up this way. Leaves DM on support, CM on support to try and get the ball up, hoping that the inside forward support is somewhere around here when you get it done. The DF on support is always going to turn his back and look for somebody to pass to. Chances are he's going to be the winger because he's always going to be the only option, because he's either that or he's going to pass it to these two guys, and we can only hope that he does not. He doesn't have any playmaking roles. He doesn't have anything that says, please play me the ball into space. Boom. All right, and then what about your mentality? Counter structure, more direct, more play wider, drop deeper, and get stuck in. So you're basically drawing people in, hoping that you can hit them on the counter with this bunch of players. I don't think it's going to work. It's going to not on an LLM side. In fact, what I would have done is what I did this instead. You see, the thing about LLM football, the thing about being weak is you want to make it hard for teams to score against you. So you put up a wall, and then all you need are two strikers, a good wing back. That's it. You're sorted. Maybe you can go down the flanks. You can hit them on the break. You don't need 10 chances. You don't need 10 chances. You just need one good chance, and you can FM this game. So what I would recommend is here I've got two versions of this tactic. I even have a defensive diamond. I call this a defensive diamond. I could pull this guy into this position, and we could literally play this like a diamond. But no, I'm still messing with this. I'm going to try this in the next game myself. But here, this is what I recommend. Use a 4-1-3-2 like this, right? You have the players for it. Sit narrow, cut inside with ball. Central defender on defense, central defender on defense, wing back on support, total dribble less, a sweeper keeper distributing to the centre backs and taking short kicks. Then we've got shoot less often for the DLP. We got CM on support. Now this might be tweaked as I play the game, but chances are this guy is going to have this instruction: close down more, and he'll also be told to dribble less. Then we have an attacking playmaker on attack. Now this player should ideally be told to get further forward. Up top we got a DLF on support, and we got a poacher on attack. Very simple combination. Now the other things we can do with this guy. This guy has been told to make more direct passes, more risky passes. Now this player can also be told to do the same thing. So we can have two players trying to thread passes out in a hurry if they need to. So we got one playmaker here. We got one playmaker here who's going to be further up the pitch. And finally, we want to keep things simple. We can play on standard structure or control structure. Pass into space becomes a choice, not something that we do on default. We want to use pass into space. If we see teams attacking us a lot, then we want to hit them on the break. The other thing is that your choice of shape will depend on how comfortable you are when you're watching the game. You could start with normal, or you can start with pushed up higher. Then remove pass into space, but I wouldn't use play out defense unless I wanted to hold and control possession of the game. Other than that, this should be fine. There is one other shout though. It's called exploit the right flank. Because if we want to go down the right flank, which is what our goal is at the moment, we literally want to go down the right flank. There's no other flank for us to go down. Okay, we're just bombing down the right flank. If we're going to bomb down the right flank, okay, we're hoping that there are players here who can find the pass. So that's one of the reasons why we've given them direct and direct. So this is the setup I would choose for with your tactic. This is what we do with your tactic in our games. Falco were expected to win this game. We started the match pretty strong. 12 minutes in, we got a corner. Doherty plays it out wide to Story. Your key players linking up together. Bait just coming in on the blind side of the defender to score the opening goal. Okay, great opening. I'm looking forward to how this tactic would hit teams on the counter, because we've created this 4-1-3-2 simply for that purpose. Even if we don't get those kind of opportunities, even if we're going to get plenty of chances for our two strikers to break away, and this is exactly what they did in the 21st minute. Falco attacking, we break away. The two boys do enough to hold the ball up for the rest of the team to come in, but Moore says, thank you very much, I don't need your help. So they added 2 to the tally, and by now I was already pretty happy with the way we were playing. We could have added a few more goals, and the whole setup I we put together was to make sure that we could just launch these kind of balls from defense right over the top of the whole opposition team. And if we get the chance to, maybe we can nick in a goal. I mean, let's face the facts. They're not Barcelona, so we're gonna have to try to come up with alternatives to trying to break the door down. They almost created a good goal scoring opportunity, which is still the weakness, and I still believe we need a central defender. And again, the same kind of an attacking pattern from the back. Yes, ball over the top, they come attacking, and we shock Falkirk. Now, this is the tactic we use the 4-1-3 to have added exploit the right flank, so you can once in a while decide if you want to just pop some balls out into that area. But the thing is, this tactic is a very simple tactic. It doesn't really, I don't try to overcomplicate things. Now, shoot less often, dribble less, close out more. This is what we did on this side. AP then get further for box to box midfield, roam from position, more direct, more risky. That's what we want to see. The defensive midfielder on the back, cut inside with the ball, sit narrow. We want it to be tight with the defenders. This guy on the other hand, dribble less, does nothing special. These two guys don't do anything. Goalkeeper distributes to centre backs and takes short kicks. Why? There's no necessity for the keeper to kick long. We don't want that to happen. We just want the other players to be doing that kind of stuff. Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition of Game Changer. If you have any questions, you know where to find me on Twitter at Bustthenet or addicted2fm.com, my website. Once again, I'd like to thank all my patrons for their continued support of this channel. You make these kind of shows possible for the rest of the community. Take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.